Can everyone hear me properly? Yeah, is that better? Good. That was for Lindsay. Good morning. So we're going to be here for a couple of days. It's going to be 4 sessions each day. It's going to be hardcore. Um, this reminds me of DJing for a festival. I was asked to DJ, and then three other DJs didn't show up, so I ended up DJing from 1 a.m. till like 10 a.m. in the morning. So this is like that. So what's being expressed here is that everything is already unconditionally free. The trees, the bees, and wait for it, even the apparent me. It's free. There seems to be a condition of what free is and what is not free. But what's being expressed here is that everything is already free, including the idea that this is not free, or I am not free, or how can I be free when I don't feel like there is freedom here? Everything is already unconditional. So let's go a little bit further. So what's being expressed is kind of like an expression, infinity expressing infinitely in conditions, freedom expressing infinitely in conditions. So what seems to be expressed here is that everything is free. The idea that is not free is also free. The thought that there is a me is also free. The idea that there's still mental chatter is also free, because everything is appearing as an illusion but feels completely real. What feels completely real is also an illusion. What's an illusion is the illusion that there is separation, that there is something that is separated. So that's why there's a this is free and this is not free. This is freedom and this doesn't feel like freedom. It's like everything is blank and there is a color by numbers. You're coloring what is not free and this is free. This is what feels liberated and this is what is not liberated. So what's being exposed here is this completely yanking the veil out, that everything that you think about that is not free is also free. Because the one that's thinking that is not free is an illusion, and even an illusion is free. Even what seems to be imagined is also free. So everything that appears, including contractedness, is also free. What seems to appear as segmented, fragmented ideas is freedom as well. Since there is an idea that I am choosing what freedom is, that I have a conditional way of thinking, that this is my preference, this is what I think is, there's a definition, there is a this or that. This is what is preferred and this is what's not preferred. So without the illusory I or illusory me, although that's already free, that's also free, everything that is seemingly seen, heard, felt is an illusion, but it's also completely free. So let's go define what an illusion again is, right? The illusion is something that feels completely real. So when When I usually have this one-on-ones, there's usually not, although nothing happens and nothing is offered, there seems to be a seeing, an illumination that, oh wow, it's always been free. It's always been this. It's everything is free. Everything is exactly as it is, as free as it is. So there's that seeing. But maybe sometimes a couple of days, a few of them, can like say that I no longer feel free because there's a chatter. But that's also free. Everything that's appearing, including a chatter or that I'm not free, is freedom, but unconditionally. It's free, but it doesn't have any conditions. So it's like a game playing a game by itself, a play playing a play by itself. It's all play. Free and not free, good or bad, duality is all freedom. So there's nothing that is not freedom. The only thing that is not freedom is the idea that it's not freedom, but it's also completely free. And even people that are trying to get in are also free. Just a second. So what's being revealed here is that there's nothing to figure out. There's nothing to attain here because trying to attain something that's already free is limiting it, is putting conditions to it. It's making it personalized, making it my freedom, my experience, my awakening, my enlightenment. The moment that the me, although it's an illusion as well, freedom is an illusion of contractedness, or freedom in an illusion of separateness, comes in and say, well, this does not feel free. That's also freedom. Everything is freedom. Nothing is excluded from freedom, including the idea that it's segregated, including the idea that this will never happen to me, or this will happen to me, or I will get freedom soon. I will get free soon. Maybe 4 more of these sessions with Emerson. maybe if I, maybe if I attend all of the 4 sessions, then freedom will happen. Nothing happens because what's being expressed here is that everything is already freedom, fully expressed, without any conditions, without any limitations. So Oyvind goes, the bees, the trees, and the me's are free. There's an idea when there's a chatter that's coming in, they're like, oh, I lost it. I had it before, but I lost it. I was free before, but damn, you know what? Why do I feel like there's a me again? So even the illusion of that contractedness, the illusion that there's a chatter, the me is not any different from the bees or the trees. The me is no difference from this or that. That seems to be the biggest obstacle, is that how come there's still a me? How come I feel separate? How come I'm not where you are? Let's take it a little bit further. If there's no one here, there's no one there. Everything that's appearing is just an appearance of separateness. Even the appearance of separateness is also freedom. But since there's conditions of what is preferred, this feeling of completeness or this contracted feeling of separateness is actually the same. That's why when it's being expressed that there's nothing to figure out, that there's nothing happening, everything is stillness appearing as movement. Everything is freedom appearing as this or that, appearing as you or me, appearing as separation. There's a question here. The freedom seems to like being constricted as most humans experience lack of freedom. There are actually no most humans. There's no human at all. There's no experience even. Everything is just appearing as freedom. But the definition of freedom varies when it's personalized. Some version of freedom would be freedom for all. It could be financial freedom. It could be freedom in love. But unconditional freedom is this already, without any conditions, without any ideas, without any definitions, without any preferences. And someone will say, well, that does not feel like freedom to me. Including that statement is also freedom. Because if we're talking about radical, uncompromising, hardcore non duality here, nothing is separate, although everything is apparently separate. So that's the same statement. That's the sameness. Let's open up the floor for any questions that you might have or not, or just to chat. Just a second. There's people that can't get in. I don't know why. That's
I
okay.
think I think I can tell you, of course, in one mail there was another link and it says the host has a different meeting.
Oh, that's why. Okay. No worries, no worries. I'll send another email later, but we'll just continue. We have an hour break. They'll get the recording anyway. Oh, how does freedom appear to Emerson? Well, there's no Emerson here. As I said, there's this freedom that the moment that the moment that I or you try to define it, it becomes conditional. So what unconditional means is everything that appears is free. So there seems to be boxes of apparent faces here. There's no separation in that. There's no one here. There's no one looking there, and there's no one looking here. But if you're going to say that it seems like there's fragmented individuals, that's freedom appearing as fragmented individuals. Okay. All right. Sorry, people are messaging me that they can't get in. Just a moment here. All right. Zoe, please go ahead. Hi,
Yeah,
Zoe.
this is just hi. This is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Emerson. When you were talking, it just was like, oh, this is the ultimate checkmate. Everything is it. What?
Everything is it. Yeah.
Everything is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was listening to the circus yesterday when you were speaking with Petra. It was just so incredible that to the conversation about the emptiness the emptiness of everything. Anyway, I just wanted to thank you.
Oh, thank
Thank
you,
you, the
Zoe.
non the yeah.
So this freedom is already here, and it seems to be I see a whole bunch of faces that's trying to figure out what freedom is. Even the trying to figure out freedom is also freedom. It's so free that it appears as everything. It's so available it's available to no one. It's so simple. It's just so simple because freedom is simple. It's not complicated at all. There's no path to freedom. There's no journey to freedom. There's no steps to freedom. There's no techniques to freedom. There are no magic words for freedom. Freedom doesn't even have any words. Steve. Hi, Steve. You have to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here.
Likewise.
And I guess I'm using normal language.
It's okay.
So this is my first meeting ever. And I, I have a question about
Sure.
disappearing.
Yeah.
I came a roundabout way to this meeting and non-duality because for some time things have been unusual in the sense that I have periods where I'm not there.
Hmm.
And so I started looking around for, what might be able to explain that. And so over the past couple of months, I've had a little short course in non-duality and led to this group, sort of Tony Parsons group. And so that's why I'm here, to see if I can get a little feedback about this.
Sure. Sure. So everything that you have ever thought about, everything that seems to appear is a story. It's a
Yes.
story. Yeah. And the seeming disappearance or the seeming kind of like absence in the story, it seems to kind of like almost spotlight in the story that nothing is happening. Almost like a glimpse or a seeing that it's just nothing.
Uh-huh.
Nothing's to be revealed, nothing's happening. It's the same thing as right now. This is the same thing as that apparent story. So there's also nothing happening right now, but seemingly there's this illusion that something is happening.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything is appearing as movements, but it's actually stillness. Everything is appearing as sounds, but it's actually silence. Appearing simultaneously together all at once. This is appearing like time, like like you logged in at like whatever time that you logged in, and now it's 21 past that. So that's also an illusion. So there's no minutes, there's no seconds, there's no days, there's no moments, there's no time. So it's all blank. It's all empty. So everything that's appearing as a thought, as an idea, as time, as you, did not really disappear. It's actually absent. Everything is actually absent. So, in the absence of everything, there is seemingly a play of light, a play of time, a play of ideas, but all of those are actually all empty. There's seemingly a looking for something, but everything's already all revealed. And the revelation is that everything is empty.
So it sounds like there's more to see.
No, not really. That's just another idea.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is already perfect as it is. As I said, freedom is already here. Sometimes, Tony says that sometimes that glimpse is the worst thing that can happen is because you're always comparing. But what you saw there is a story, which is the same story as this. There's no difference. Everything that you're seeing is also empty. But you think you're seeing everything as full. That's why it's empty fullness. Empty is full. Nothing is everything. There's actually no opposites. Everything is whole. Even the idea of opposites is also whole.
So there's nothing to see.
Nothing to see.
Everything is just the way that it is.
Yeah, because there's no one really seeing anything.
So when the seeing is seeing,
It's just seeing. Yeah, there's no
it's
one
just
behind the seeing. It's just seeing. Like this.
it's just seeing.
Yeah, it's just seeing. Seeing nothing, appearing as everything. Seeing time, but it's an illusion.
Well, there's some, when that seeing is seeing, there's some sensing and some feeling at times.
I'm just using the word seeing, but it encompasses everything. Seeing, feeling, thinking, appearing. It's just, I'll change it to wholeness. It's just wholenessing. It's completenessing.
Well, there have been some there
There's no
what I
words for
would
it really. So I'm using the word seeing, but it's not really just that.
uh-huh.
Yeah. It's everything. Nothing is everythinging.
Okay.
Tasting, feeling, experiencing, wondering, confusing. It's all the same. They're just words to try to paint something that is one canvas or different colors of one canvas. It's the same. It's just a canvas. It's blank.
Well, it seems like there's been a shift of some kind here, and it's okay with me, or I should say, it's okay with the me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the seeing sometimes, in the story, the seeing that nothing is happening loosens up everything.
Uh-huh.
There's no more contractedness in the seriousness of things appearing because it's seen that everything is blank or nothing is happening, or it's like a dream or like an illusion, that the me, the solidity of the idea of the me is challenged now or seen as empty or seen as transparent or seen as an illusory. I'm just using words here for something that never happens. So
Okay.
everything is kind of like dreamy.
Yes.
Everything is a little bit surreal.
Yes.
Everything is a little bit whatever it is, wordless.
Yes.
Yeah. Nothing is gained, but there's a loss of the belief system that this is happening to me.
Yes.
It's like the disappearance of the belief system. Like, oh, I never really believed anything. Or, whoa, there's actually no hope. There's nothing happening. So there's a belief that something's happening to me, that something is occurring. So when that's challenged, meaning that when it's seen as faulty or something that is transparent or translucent, it's like seeing through the veil of separation that nothing has been separate. Yeah, it's all empty.
So there's nothing to be said.
No. It's just this. And that's even saying too much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I can say ta-da or wow or this is it.
Well, I can say, wow, Emerson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, even a bigger wow.
Yes.
I might wake some people up in the house, though, if I do that.
Okay. There's no people in the house.
Okay, yes, that's this new language of wow.
Wow, yeah. The unconditional wow. That's my new website coming up, by the way. It's unconditionalwow.com. I'm just joking. I just came up with that. Maybe I should use that, yeah,
Okay.
before Steve uses it. But thank you so much, Steve, for sharing that. It's beautiful. Wow.
Uh,
Oh, Gilin. Cool, Gilin. Hi.
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 Freedom is so free that it can create, like, apparently a contracted person that believe that it's not free. That's just that's craziness, eh?
It is. It is. It is.
Oh, it's so well explained this morning. You're you're not there, but freedom is very awake.
Freedom has a venti Starbucks. That's why.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Oh, that's that. So, oh my God. Yeah, and sometimes freedom, like, is thinking, oh, everything is this. So it's thinking, oh, I lost it. I lost my freedom, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
freedom that is. Oh my God, that's so crazy.
Yes,
Oh, it's beautiful
it
too.
is. It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
It's like freedom is playing hide and seek, but since it's freedom, it can't hide, so it appears in everything.
I have someone that, but apparently, oh, well, you don't speak French, Emerson? You don't?
No, I
No.
wish I did.
Yeah.
I tried, but when I was in Montreal, when I started speaking, they're like, "You can speak English if you like." I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
man." Well, I
Because
spent like a
I have an apparent freedom person that's texting freedom. It's only freedom, but I, I would like to help freedom to not suffer, the other apparent person
yeah.
speak French. Because really, when freedom believes really in the suffering, it's very difficult to, you can't, there's nothing to be done. That's fucking, but I think freedom is getting uh, sick and tired of being sick and tired.
That's freedom in itself.
Yeah, I know. That's so crazy.
It's crazy, I
Oh,
know.
nobody can help freedom to free itself either.
It's appearing in everything. Freedom,
Yeah,
unconditional
there's no
freedom is
one.
appearing as I can't find freedom. There's
Mm,
freedom, or this is not freedom. It's in everything, because
okay.
everything is free.
Suffering is free too, and everything. Oh, it's the most beautiful message ever.
Thank you. Well, I can't take credit for it. It's just it's it's a mess.
It's freedom.
It's freedom.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Emerson.
Gillen. Monique. Hey, Monique. How are you
Good
doing? Good
morning.
morning, Monique.
Thank you for doing this, by the way. This is
Oh, I love it.
I was just kind of listening and thinking, like, having been seeking for so long the apparent me, and when this apparently seemed to have the realization that that wasn't needed, and this is all there is always. The me didn't even know, the apparent me or whatever, didn't even like realize what it was. I think there was an expectation from following teachers
Yeah.
that somehow there would be this big
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I would maybe levitate or something. I think the ego wanted to be special, like,
Yes,
aha,
yes, yeah.
sitting in the lotus position all day with butterflies circling my head. Maybe there was some of that, like, or I would not be, bothered
That-
by
then
anything.
then
And
that would be a limited edition freedom, right?
oh yeah, and I would be able to pass this message to others who would be enlightened and would have peace and freedom and blah blah blah. but I think the seeker was actually looking for something. And there, you know,
Yeah.
the apparent ego was also, even though it was not really, you know, it was hiding in the background that it wanted something. It wanted to have something that it felt it didn't have. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for, you know, there is no time, but for the sake of conversation for 3 years, there was this, you know, stopwatch, all the habits of the me changed. There was no television. There was just reading, meditating, meditating, you know, friendships seemed to fall away because I wasn't, you know, the personality of this was very social and goofy and, you know, the life of the party kind of thing, always trying to get attention, making people laugh. That was, you know, but at the same time being completely miserable and, you know, hating life, basically didn't want to be here or thought about, you know, how I could get out of this thing all the time. I would, you know, the me was not happy. So, you know, wanted to leave a lot. But anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is since this apparent happening, falling away, is what I've noticed is you can't like, you know, was just said, you can't teach it. It's not a teaching. You can't show people how to be what they already are. You know what I mean? How do you tell an orange it's an orange? But what I want to say is it just, what you may notice, because at first, like we talked about, Emerson, I don't know the hour that this, you know, changed or seemed to change. I just noticed that everything seemed more alive and that it became, maybe it's intuitive, that there was no time. That was Jinx, my dog is barking. Stop. There's a blade of grass moving in Zimbabwe that he hears. But anyway, there just seemed to be a non-attachment to everything, but there was no like I noticed that I don't go out as much or have a need for company or anything really. There's no wishing for, oh, I really wish I had this car, or my life would be better if I had this thing, this would make me happy. All of that seemed to drop away. Like none of that matters. There's no caring. There's just what's happening all the time. And most of if I do, and it's not like, oh, everything changes and that way, like you still don't get annoyed by things. Like you said, you stub your toe and you're like, fuck, that hurt. Or a bill comes that you didn't expect, you know, but you don't like make a story around it. You know, like, oh my God, where am I going to get the money? Oh my God, blah, blah, blah.
Right, yeah.
This is really going to kick me back financially. What this notice is that was gone. Like, it's not like, it's just a story. Everything is a story. It's just part of this, whatever this is happening.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah, you
and
can
I guess
define freedom.
Yeah. It's just freedom. And there is a liberation, at least. I don't even want to say experience because that doesn't even that doesn't
no one's
feel like the right
experiencing.
word.
Yeah.
It's not an experience. It's just kind of intuitive that you're just free. You're free and you always have been free. And there's a great liberation, it seems like, at least initially, in that, I don't even want to say feeling, just the presence. And then presence is not a word either.
Yeah. So
you know, I can't.
Yeah, I know.
I guess there's not even like trying to help other people because it's already known that can't happen. There's no separation between anyone. It's just the illusioning. You know, I just think that as
and there's
someone
nothing wrong with that.
No.
Of course,
no. This was exactly that was the seeking that I, experienced or whatever I went through. I guess just for this having this, I don't want to say experience. It's so hard to describe it.
It is.
This apparent change or whatever.
You can call
There
it whatever.
was, you know, initially when we first talked, when this apparently seemed to happen, a lot of like excitement and wow. And even now, like, you know, everything is way more vibrant. I'm driving
Yeah.
home from work sometimes and I just drive home with the wind. I live in Florida, so
Yeah.
it always seems to be pretty. So
Yeah.
I drive home with the windows down on my Jeep and I'm just like, everything seems so alive and the trees are like, woof, you know, it's so, that is so cool. Because when you're in that apparent me energy, you don't notice because there's the apparent mind and ego constantly blah, 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 you know? And then when that seems to go and you're just, whew, it's just so cool. I actually went out last night with friends, right? And these are folks that I've, you know, obviously known for years, been friends with. And there was a discussion that came up, and I'm going to wrap this up, about politics and the war and things. And I was funny because the old me, the me was so attached to being right about, you know, politics and you know, all of my friends are so-called Republicans and I'm the only what's so-called, you know, liberal. But so that they know that, and from me in the past, you know, there would be these discussions and like, well, and arguments. And so it kind of came up last night, and I was like, what I noticed is like there was zero like need to be right, or all I said was, and they looked at me like I was an alien. I said, there really isn't in Russia, there isn't in the United States, there isn't in Canada, there's none of it. It doesn't even exist. There's no separation. We're all one. Science has said if you go to, you know, the pinpoint, it's all from the same source. And they're like, yeah, okay. Anyway, I'll take another Mick Ultra, you know, it's like, okay. And it was fine. And it was fine. Like, I didn't care. There was no attachment to whether they thought I was crazy. It was just cool. And there was still nothing but love there, you know? It's good.
It's just seeing that the separation or the left or right is just the same seas.
Yeah. Same. Just...
Nothing different.
Anyway, just wanted to share. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for sharing. That was lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Monique. We'll chat more. Primali. Hi, Primali.
Hi, Emerson.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, good. Can you please explain no separation more? Like, why? Yeah, can you please explain it more?
Yeah, it's actually very simple. Separation and no separation are words. So there's no this or that. There's no right or wrong. There's no here and there. There's no you and I. There's nothing. So everything that you think about is seemingly a separate idea, but that's the illusion. So there is a feeling or a conviction that everything's happening separately, that I am separate, because the illusion of separation is that everything feels separately and real. But what's being expressed here is that there is nothing appearing as separation, appearing as separateness. Otherwise, you will not be able to hold a cup if there's no separateness. We will not be conversing right now as there's no illusion of, there's nothing wrong or right about separation. People always think that they have to get rid of that separation. Well, it's not possible, because the illusion is separation. And there's nothing wrong or right about that, but it's also an illusion. That's why it's an illusion. It's kind of like in a dream, a nighttime dream, there's seemingly a happening of realness. So to be able to experience realness, there has to be a subject object, bless you. And there is this illusion that this wholeness is segmented to be able to hold a cup, to talk to you, to see colors and everything. but it's an illusion. What's actually appearing is both an illusion and both emptiness. And we don't really have any words, and that's actually unknowable. But it appears as separateness. That's why
Yeah.
when people say that, well, there's a me still, that's the illusion of separateness. That's also emptiness appearing as a separate chatter.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Like when you say when you say no separation,
Mm.
like is it like when I look at a tree, there is sometimes no separation with there is no me and there is tree. Is that what you mean?
You can never see no separation.
No, not me, like not
Yeah.
see, like
Okay.
it's just the tree.
Yeah.
So there is no thought of I am looking at a tree. Is that what you mean by no separation?
No, that's just another idea about not. It's just another
Yeah, so how
story.
do you so how do you say that there's no separation? Like all I see is separation.
Yes.
Like there's you and I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Like I know there's no you or
Yes.
me like such, but at the same time I am talking and you are there.
Yeah.
Like picture of you and picture of me. So how are you saying there's no separation? Is it because you see something that I don't see, or is it intellectual, or is it?
No, it's not an intellectual. It's not actually an experience. It's not something. Let me go back into a story. So what seems to be seen or is that everything is appearing as separate, but it's actually whole. And I'll explain.
Oh,
And I'll explain.
yeah.
I'll explain. I use a dream analogy because it cannot really be understood, but I can use concepts to dispel any concepts. I can use a story to kick out a story, right? So in a story, there's a dreaming that happens at night. Everything that seems to happen at night in a nighttime dream, primarily dreaming of, speaking to Emerson in a retreat, things to be happening. But the moment that Primali wakes up from that nighttime dream, there is a split second that all that seemed that was believed that was real is actually not separate, meaning it's completely illusory. It didn't happen. So all of that is a whole illusion, not separate illusions. It's a whole fabrication. So no separation. So what's being expressed here is that nighttime dream is still happening right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
So
you
you
mean
never
by no
woke up.
separation.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Hi, Carol. Hello.
Hi, Emerson.
How are you doing?
Oh, fine. So great.
Yeah.
And so touched by this beauty.
Ah.
What I want to share is in the story when the me heard like the word or wordless word untouched.
Yeah.
It is untouched.
Yeah.
Try to understand that.
Yeah.
Oh,
another word would be uncreated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love uncreated. Yes. Yeah. And it, it like the appearance, it's hard to explain. Like the appearance is there, so you can since in the appearance there's a separation.
Yeah.
So you can touch, the glass, you can touch anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't touch nothing because it is empty.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
That because it is untouchable.
Yes.
That is so amazing.
Yeah. It reminds me of a video game.
A video game?
A video game. So no one created a video game. No one programmed a simulation. This is just a funny thing to say. This is like the avatar. But there's no avatars as well. There's no one controlling it. But everything is happening automatically, magically, for no reason. No one created it, but everything is appearing as this movement, but actually it's all stillness. It's all
Isn't that
stillness.
amazing? It's
Yeah.
such beauty. It's like the
So
apparent
it's
appearance
completely. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, like the appearance is just a miracle. because
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
because
yeah,
just because it appears.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Emerson, for doing
Thank you,
that.
Carol.
Thank you.
Thank you. Someone said, "Can you expand on that?" I knew this was going to lead to more questions. Yes, okay. People seem to like this simulation theory. That's just another theory. That's just another story, right? Um, the way that I kind of like expressing it is kind of like, imagine that there's a hologram. This is a hologram, but the hologram will never figure out that it's a hologram because it's in a hologram. So everything that it sees, feels is holographic. Everything they encounter is also a hologram. So there's no way out of the hologram because it's the entire hologram.
Good analogy.
Yeah. But no one programmed the hologram. Muchas gracias. Hello. Oh, I can't see you.
I'm a little bit irritated
No worries.
by this because this hologram story was also in the spiritual teaching that I followed.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
so,
why I said don't take it seriously. It's just a story. It's not.
Oh yeah.
It's not even true. It's just an analogy. Again, what's being used here is just an analogy to dispel the analogy or using concepts to kick out the concept. There's no such thing. So nothing to be irritated about.
Yeah, I was already in a. Yeah. Thank you, Emerson.
Love you.
Love you.
Kirsty, please go ahead. Hi, Kirsty.
Hi there.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, sorry. Hello. Good
Hello,
seeing you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for all your conversations and sharing.
Of course. Oh, I can't hear you, Kirsty. Your line is
Can
kind
you
of
hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I have a question. I have a few questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
This character is still very much in character.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thinking that happens. There's a lot of trying to understand it, trying to get it.
Yeah.
Trying to get nothing.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of seeking and plant medicines and years of Course in Miracles and
yes.
therapy and all sorts of, as I'm sure you understand.
Yeah. Sounds exhausting.
Yeah, it was pretty well. Something in this mind that's really interested in the psychology of it, of the. This character's a lecturer, lectures in music business. So there's just all sorts of, there seems to be a fun in it too. Like a kind of joy comes out of some of it. But the story, as it has gone along, has been that there's been many addictions. I'm a singer and a songwriter. And so there's been a lot of addiction. There was a lot of apparent abuse when I was a child. So that story seems to have continued. And exhausting. What's exhausting is that just seems to continue.
Yeah.
And since dropping away all of the other seeking, which obviously I haven't because I'm asking you questions, the alcohol seems to have got worse in this kind of apparent freedom. There's just a real joy for drinking, just a joy for drinking.
Yeah.
Is there any?
Repeat that again. You cut out a bit. Is there any
free will around that? Is that just what's happening? Is there anything?
Yeah. There's actually, you know, everything that you think that have happened in the past, everything that
Yeah.
you think that you've ever done did not really happen.
Okay. Yeah.
So no one is doing it. And the good thing about it is that you've never done anything wrong. You've also
Yeah.
done, you haven't also done anything right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's nothing that you have done at all whatsoever. So
Okay.
everything that's appearing is an illusion of time. So there's seemingly a time of all the story that came and everything. But all that there is this. There's nothing outside of this. All that there
Yeah.
is this. So everything that appeared is a story about an
It's
illusion.
just in the mind.
It's just,
Just
there's no mind even. This is just
okay.
automatically happening.
Yeah.
Apparently, all
With
of these
that illusion.
stories. Yeah, so it's always pure and innocent. So there's nothing outside of this. That's even a story, but there is nothing happening outside of this. So everything that you've said to me is
Yeah.
is just a narrative of
Yeah.
something that didn't really happen.
Yeah.
So there's this illusion that there was a yesterday, that there was a history, there was plant medicine or whatever,
Yeah.
or some addictions and all that kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's all a narrative of something to support the story to
Yeah.
be real. This is a story, you know, generating. It's a story generating another story, another story, another story,
Yeah.
to hide that the story is also empty. So everything that you told me is all emptiness. All I heard
Yeah.
was emptiness, 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 and then emptiness, 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 and then emptiness, 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 empty. That's
Yeah.
all. Yeah. So it's all empty. And
Okay.
what seems to appear in that, disclaimer here, this is not a treatment, this is not an advice, or
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
not, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's being so what's being expressed here is that all emptiness seems to appear as something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really nothing.
Okay.
So there's nothing that you have done, there's nothing that you have chosen to do, because just
Yeah.
simply there's no you. There's this illusion that there's someone that's traveling, there's a Kirsty that's traveling through all of this journey and everything. It's quite a beautiful
Yeah. Yeah.
tale. But
Yeah.
once it's seen that all of that, it's kind of like you just told me all of this narrative, all of this stuff. This
Yeah.
character Emerson had many narratives like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
ayahuasca, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Everything,
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah. Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
When there was this seeing that, you're like, none of that really happened. It's like a dream,
Yeah.
and then it's a dreaming, meaning that no one is in the dream. It's just it's just this dreaming that everything seems to happen seriously, like really solidly. But once you wake up, although no one wakes up, there's this kind of like, what the fuck? Nothing happened and nothing is happening. So that's what's being expressed here.
And then so that feels so like that seems so wonderful, but that hasn't happened.
Well,
Or
it doesn't happen because you're thinking in time right now, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
in
I
time
get
right
that.
now, and it
I
seemed
get
like,
that.
the veil is time, right? So when it's expressed here that time is not real, it's
Yeah.
empty. So what seems to appear as past, present, future is all emptiness.
Yeah. I get
It's
that.
all it's let me rephrase it in a different way. It's kind of like this is an infinite expression of its infinity expressing itself as finite.
Got it.
So this is infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everything that you told me is infinity, 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 infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then everything that is, I don't. I mean, I don't. I really want. The character, really wants to get it, and of course, the character cannot get it because
So
that would be
infinity is pretending that it has to get infinity.
which is ridiculous.
It is.
It is
Freedom
ridiculous.
is looking for freedom through seeking freedom.
But there's still something here that is trying to get something.
Yeah, you just gave me a story.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah, again, yeah.
but there's still something here trying to give you a story.
That's another one. See?
No,
Yes.
I don't see, because
That's another story.
So is that infinity giving you these
Yeah.
stories?
Yeah.
So infinity is playing with you through me, through nothing.
There's no you or me. It's just playing by itself.
So infinity is playing. So therefore, there is nothing in between.
Any thought? Yeah. There you go.
So infinity is just playing.
Yeah. Infinitely.
And there is no I here to choose what infinity is doing here.
Oh, yeah.
So when infinity plays a song, it plays a song.
Yeah.
When infinity drinks a whole bottle of wine, infinity is drinking a bottle of wine.
Yeah. Infinity feels shitty the next day. It's just infinity feeling shitty the next day.
And that's it.
That's it.
And so there is no I here to choose anything.
No. It's
okay. Thank you. That's very beautiful.
It is, isn't it?
That's very beautiful. So it's just infinity playing with infinity.
That's right.
Through birds, Emerson's, Kirsty's.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
And there's no will. So there is no will choice, because there's no one to will choose.
No. It's all a play.
So there's nothing.
That's what's being said here.
It's just infinity.
Yeah.
Just playing. The entire thing is just infinity playing with infinity.
Yeah.
Even through these words, even through this.
Yeah.
It's just still infinity playing. That's so good. Okay. Thank you, Emerson.
Thank you.
That's it.
All right.
Muchas gracias, Fabián.
Muchas gracias. Thank you, Christy. I think that's the end of the first session. We'll end it there. That was a pretty good ending. I'm going to close the room, and then you guys log back on again. Or maybe I won't do that. I will just stop the recording. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you back in an hour.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emerson.
Thanks, Emerson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Emerson. Very nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.